Hello, Gunner James 105. I'm doing a video on some military flashlights. Here's a couple examples. I've got a few more that I'll exchange for these here in a moment. But this is just your normal flashlight that's been around for a long time. I'm not sure, through the 60s, 70s, 80s, right up to the present time. And they're the type, this is exactly the type that I had when I was in with the artillery. It has the clip on the back here that you can clip onto your webbing or your web belt. Usually it just went up on your chest on the webbing, and it has just a basic 2-position switch, and many flashlights in civilian use have the same method. Where you would push it to the first position, and then you would be able to do some signaling by just pushing this button here. And so then you would go to the next position and it would stay on. So this flashlight has the piece that threads off on the end, and then down in the bottom is storage for these different colored lenses, so you can have a different effect whichever one is chosen. So for most of our use at night, when I was in, the red one is the one that we would use at night. It gave you enough light to see, as well as not give away your position so easily, so you could, we did our compass march and our picket duty with a flashlight that we could, and this one here has the red lens. I'm not sure if the battery works on this one or not, but now there we go. So there's your flashlight with the red lens. So typical, normal, little loop on the end there to hang it from a tree branch or whatever. And so I'll move on to the next item. This thing, which I believe is military, and I don't care. I have looked everywhere. It almost seems like something that could be used in a mine. It could be from a completely different country than mine. I have no idea who used this, if it was indeed military, but I thought I'd just throw it in here in case anybody out there recognized it. The one thing I do know is that someone's gone to great pains to rub off any markings, any maker's marks, inside out. There's nothing to tell me who made this, but it's a very, very thick glass. It has a brass collar or ring around here to hold that lens in. There is inside a couple of D-cell batteries. The storage under there also has a spare bulb. Now that lens on there is a very thick, I'm going to say it's about 1/4 of an inch thick glass. So but very, very bright. It's a very bright flashlight. I like this flashlight. But as far as military, not military, it's got your loop, but I mean, that's normal. The clip on the side there again. So sure would like to know what the heck this is. Civilian, military, and which military. So that's that one. This next one is pretty cool in that it's in its original packaging, and so this one here says that, so it's a W2, Canadian or British use. It's the little piece of tape has gotten, the adhesive's gotten a little dry, and it's opened up on the back, and when I do open it, the label inside matches what's on the outside. and you can see that it's got a lot of kind of a wax paper, very heavy wax coated covering in a box inside of this paper wrapping to keep it watertight. So torches hand watertight number 4. I don't want to open this because it's all in its original packaging, and so that's okay, because I happen to pick up an example of what's in that box. So that's what it looks like. This one here has, so it's the 1D size battery. The lens is pretty discolored on it. It works when it feels like it. I might even just try it. Yeah, there. So it did try, and it has the same signaling type button here, and it's got this nice little loop on there. You can position it because of the way it's kind of stiff in there. You can position that flashlight if it's hanging in whatever way you want. And on the back, there's I'll give you a close up here, so make sure it's not upside down. So this here is what's on the bottom of the flashlight, if you can read that. And give you some closer views. But this is a World War II Canadian British flashlight. I've seen them more so for sale on eBay or whatever in a version probably twice as long as this, very similar in appearance. So that's that one. And then the last one, I'll just grab my notes here. This one here is it's a little Dynamo flashlight. So I've got my notes because I got quite a bit of info that I want to not leave anything out. Only going to do one video on this flashlight. But yeah, it's Germany, when they invaded Holland in 1940, they had a need for a flashlight that didn't need batteries for the soldiers and sailors and airmen, and so the factory in Eindhoven, the Philips factory, is where they decided they'd make a whole bunch of these. So 1943 is the only year that these were manufactured at that factory during the war for the Germans. So Eindhoven, just as a side note, is the city that my wife was born in. That's where her family lives today. And so so the city of Eindhoven, I have been there, and I have seen the her grandfather used to work for that Philips factory there, and so I've been to see it. I've got here now where I want to kind of get back to the flashlight, where I can give you a close-up of the markings on it, and you can see that Philips symbol there, and made in Holland. So hopefully there. And this was referred to by the Germans as a Kneippkat. That was the German word for squeeze cat. And I don't know if it's the sound that it would make, but this is how you would. Well, this one unfortunately doesn't work. One day I hope to get it working. There is a bulb in there, and it does sound like it's doing what it should do inside when I do like that. So your flashlight, I'll show you what it's supposed to do here with another example. There is a little clip that's supposed to be down in here that when you're just carrying this in your pocket or whatever, you can lower that, and then the clip will hold that little lever down. It's a little plastic lens. It's made of steel, and after the war they were still making these. This is steel with an olive drab painting on it, but the ones they made after the war were aluminum, and they weren't painted. So I'll just grab this other one here, which, if you've never seen one of these before, or this type of thing, this one here I got from Russia. You can get these easy enough, and they're not that expensive. And so, as in referencing the way you can click to hold that handle down, this one happens to have a wide and a close beam on it, but you just, as long as you keep squeezing that, you're going to get light. So you never need batteries. I don't know about a forever anything, because I'm sure that you do this enough times to wear something out, but anyways, that's how this little guy's supposed to work, and maybe one day it will. So there are the military flashlights in my collection. Thanks for watching.